I think Rinna and Kyle might be in a competition to see who is the worst person on this show. Let's get started. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today I'm covering Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 10, Episode 13. There's no place like Rome. So far I've been pretty neutral on Rinna, I think. Maybe not. But I think I have more directing my hatred toward Kyle and, of course, Teddi. Still can't with Teddi or Kyle for that matter. But I don't know, this episode just showed me what a piece of shit Rinna is. So let's talk about it. So the episode starts off where we left off. They're flashing back to the dinner that did not go well at all with Denise. And you guys have left me a lot of cool comments on my videos. I love it. I love seeing where everybody's head's at. Most of you guys seem to be Team Denise. We all pretty much, not all of us, but most of us share the opinion that Brandi sucks and she's fame hungry and she'd do anything to get back on the show. I still hold out that there might be a little bit of truth, that maybe something did happen, but that Brandi's so thirsty and desperate to be on the show that she'll do whatever she can and stir up whatever she can and make up whatever she can to get back on. So maybe the truth lies somewhere in between. So Kyle and Rinna, again, this episode, Rinna really bugged me. She's just a terrible person. Just super happy to be in the mix, and I think Garcelle got my MVP because she calls out Rinna later in a really funny way, which we'll get to. But so we're at Kyle's suite after the dinner. The ladies are talking. So there's flashing between these two groups. The one group is Rinna and Teddi, Erika, Sutton, and Kyle. The other group are Dorit, Garcelle, and Denise is in the separate area. So this group is talking about, do you think it was true when Brandi said it? And they're nodding yes. Teddi's nodding yes. Teddi. Erika is saying Brandi is a huge ass liar, or Denise is covering her bases like crazy. Rinna says, I'm tortured with this, to which I call BS, Rinna. BS. So in the other area, we see, of course, Dorit, Garcelle, and Denise. They're saying it's a huge bomb to all of us. Now what do you do? Denise says, this is slander. It's effing slander. Garcelle says, why would she make that up? So then we go back to the original group, the people that I really don't care about. They're saying, we don't care what she did with Brandi. Sutton says, she's fight or flight. She may not be here tomorrow. So then they flash to the next day, and there's this weird scene with Kyle where Sutton comes over with some boots. These boots are going to make me feel happy again, is what Kyle says. They're hunter boots that have been bedazzled. I don't get it or care. We see Rinna making a call to Denise. It says that they needed to talk and that she's headed down. At the same time, Kyle's calling Dorit. They both feel shitty and tired. And they decide they want to meet up at a cafe and talk. So when Rinna's at Denise's, Rinna says, I don't know where to start. Denise says, I was so blindsided how you let me go through the whole day. And this is where I definitely side with Denise. That was shitty. Rinna calls herself a friend, and Denise is saying, look, all you had to do was pull me aside or give me a heads up. Just send me an effing text message or something. And Rinna's like, there was no time. Bullshit. Denise says, if it were the other way around, wouldn't you want me to do that for you or send a text? Honestly, I've always had your back. Rinna to camera says, I don't feel responsibility. It was Teddi's job because Teddi got the information. I think we get into trouble when we play telephone. Again, excuses. Rinna's full of crap. Of course she'd want the heads up, as any of them would. Denise brings up Rinna egging it on, and they flash to all the times. And this is where Rinna really got on my nerves. She was the one egging it on at the table. She kept saying, just say it. When, of course, Teddi was just being boring Teddi and not getting her words out. But Rinna is like, well, because it's out there. And Denise says, it's not out there. And Rinna's like, yes, it is. Rinna to camera says, If it isn't true, let's call Brandy and confront her. Now, I don't know. I just don't know if I see what Rinna's saying there, but I don't know. I think Brandy's kind of full of crap and totally blowing things up. And so, what would that do? I think Brandy will just talk herself in circles, and Rinna chooses to believe Brandy. So I don't think anything good will come from it. And Rinna asks, why do you think this is happening? And Denise says, for shock value. And I agree with Denise here. I do think it's for shock value. I think so too. She knew it'd be her ticket back on the show, so it's easy for her to say things like this. Maybe they hooked up. Who cares? Maybe they kissed. Maybe it was nothing, but I think Brandy blew it out of proportion. Maybe it was a one-night stand. Maybe they have an understanding. I really don't care about that part of it. I care that Brandy's an asshole and she's acting like this to Denise. So then it gets interesting here because Denise says, I got out of it. Teddi was upset about all these things I supposedly said. And she said, anything I've said about her, I've said to her face. I'm going to be super honest. Brandy told me that I want to let you know things this group are saying behind your back, talking to Denise. Rinna picks right up on that and says, oh, so you've talked to Brandy about it. Rinna to camera says, Denise told me she didn't talk to Brandy before Kyle's party. So then they show the flash of her asking about it and Denise saying, no, they don't talk. Rinna to Denise says, you have a relationship with Brandy where you talk to her? And Denise says, not all the time. So, I don't know. I didn't think that helped Denise at all. But again, if Brandy's blowing it up, so what if they talk? It may not be anything. It may just be, so-and-so's a bitch or whatever. Or Rinna's a bitch and they talk about it. I don't think that proves guilt. I don't understand why Denise didn't admit that they talked before, but I'm going to give her credit and say maybe she was shocked by this all. Maybe it took her so off guard that her first instinct was to say that they didn't talk because it might make it look like they're closer than they are. Maybe they aren't that close. Who knows? So then we see Kyle and Dorit meeting up. Kyle calls Teddi, and I just cannot with Teddi. If you ever want to make yourself feel better and you feel like me about Teddi, go on Twitter because so many people tweet about how they feel about Teddi, and it sounds like it's pretty similar to how I feel about Teddi. Teddi needs this. I understand she's pregnant. I'm not judging that. I understand that you get exhausted and feel like crap. Fine. But she's talking about staying back at the hotel to work out. You're in Italy. Rally. Go out for lunch and then go lay down and then go back out. Or if you really don't feel good, fine, stay there. But to talk about working out, to me, just felt like a brand plug, and she's just obnoxious. So Kyle and Dorit meet back up. They go to some cafe. I'm so jealous because they order wine and pasta. Can we please go? Can the world just stop sucking so bad? Can 2020 get better? Can we just go to Italy and have wine and pasta? Who's with me? Please. Anyway, I digress. Okay, let me talk about Dorit for a second here. Dorit, she's a little crazy. She's a little cray-cray. But I like her. And I love this outfit. I really did. I can't help it. Like, she always has to do too much. She's over the top. But I just thought she looked gorgeous here. And I'm jealous of that coat. I want that coat. I want those glasses. I want to look like that when I pull my hair back. I don't. I want my makeup to look like that. I just thought she looked gorgeous. And I'm completely jealous. And honestly, I think Kyle is too. And I think that's why Kyle kind of picks fights with Dorit. Just my opinion. She's kind of got that Ramona syndrome. Maybe she doesn't want somebody looking better than her. Ooh, I said it. So the whole fight here is because Dorit feels like that Kyle talks over her, stops her from making a point, won't let her finish a sentence. So they kind of go back and forth. They work it out. It doesn't really feel resolved. And Kyle says Dorit's overreacting. Maybe she is. Who cares? I don't like Kyle. So they make up. That's good. Dorit reveals that she was with Denise and Garcelle until 2 a.m. Kyle reveals something interesting. So remember Brandy had that lawsuit where she was sued by Joanna Krupa. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it, because I can't even talk about it here because it's pretty disgusting and funny. And Kyle admits that she was dragged into that lawsuit with Brandi. And I didn't know that. That's interesting. It sounds like she's eventually back out of the lawsuit, but it's just interesting. So Brandi, she says that Brandi can be an asshole, but she's never seen her lie. So I don't know how I feel about that. I think she probably has lied. It seems like I don't know. So then we see Garcelle and Denise. Garcelle, seriously, I love her. She's beautiful here in this pink. I'm jealous. She looks fantastic. She goes over to be a good friend to Denise, and I love that she's got her back, and at least Denise has a good friend here. She's checking on her. Garcelle reveals that Denise was there for her when she went through her awful divorce. And if Denise can deal with Charlie Sheen, she can deal with Teddi and Rinna. I love Garcelle. That's a very good point. So then we see the day trips. Some of the girls are going in Ferraris. They see these $210,000 Ferraris pull up. Holy crap. Erika says, this is everything I live for. We get to see a breathtaking view. So jealous. Let's go drive a Ferrari and go get wine and pasta. Then we see Dorit, Kyle, and Sutton. They're at Dolce & Gabbana. So here's where Sutton annoys me. I'm torn. I love seeing, like, the extravagant lifestyle and the spending. Believe me, I'm so into it. But it just makes it more crazy that Sutton loves to do this crap and say these outlandish things like, oh, I have all these tiaras. Gabbana sends me them for my birthday. Meaning, obviously, she spends more than my house at that store probably a month. And then she acts shocked when somebody like Garcelle asks her, where'd you get all your money? I think if you're bragging about money, you should be okay with people asking you questions about it. So we see Kyle in an obnoxious fedora. It matches her personality. Annoying. Sorry if you have a fedora. These crazy tiaras. Seriously, do people that are older than 6 wear tiaras? Or that are not queens? I don't, that's weird. So they're all trying them on and posing and being silly. Sutton, they flash to her closet, and we see that she's got these tiaras. They've been sent to her and that she collects. It's ridiculous. So then she's bragging about having all this stuff. So it just caused me to Google. I just jumped on and just to see, because I was curious about Sutton's closet, and sure enough, Bravo showed where she had done a closet tour. So let's take a look at Sutton's closet for a second, if you don't mind. So this is where I get so confused. Okay. So obviously, I know she's rich. Okay. Obviously, this closet is packed full of very expensive things. My very modest closet is bigger than this. And so that's kind of shocking. I don't have nearly the stuff she has, and mine's full of Target clothes. But it's just, I just don't understand a lot of things about Sutton. I don't understand all the stuff she brags about. And then when you see it, I just don't think it looks great. I don't think this looks great. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? There's a second closet behind her here. So full of more very expensive things. I don't understand. Don't understand Sutton's style. I don't know. If I had that kind of money, I'd probably hire a stylist, because I don't get her looks. So we go back to this wine cave where all the rest of the ladies are. It's Garcelle and Rinna and Denise and Erika, and they're cheersing and drinking wine, and I'm jealous. So it's interesting. Erika actually talks about Tom a little bit here. Apparently Tom has an allergy to garlic, and then she reveals he's pouty. I had to rewind it to listen and make sure that's what I heard right, but she did. She said he's pouty. She says everyone thinks she's the drama queen, but it's Tom. And she talks about how much he's allergic to garlic, and he can smell it in her pores, I guess, when she eats it. Oh my God, I love garlic. I would not be able to, I guess I can't marry Tom. So the previous night comes up. Denise says, I find some of the women in this group want that chaos around them. Sometimes it's hard to talk about certain things. We start to tell each other how we feel, then halfway through someone comes at you. And Erika says, that's why you have to tell your truth and how you feel. We're all grown-ups and we can defend ourselves. Then Denise switches gears and asks if she's upset with Aaron, and Erika says, I don't like how he spoke to us at Sutton's event. It's hard when husbands get involved. Maybe he has a different perspective. Maybe he was protecting his wife. I understand that. But there's a time and place and a tone for everything. And to that, I agree with Erika. I do think he was protecting his wife, but I agree. I think the husbands, I like it better when they stay out of it. And there is a time and place. And he doesn't really get that. Denise apologizes on his behalf. Erika says that she can talk to him directly and that she wants to move past it. And I say good for them. I'm glad Denise can at least relax a little bit about this. I feel so bad for her. They're all over her. So then we see these ladies getting ready with a stylist. Again, I don't understand Sutton. I don't understand her style or anything. I know that must be expensive, but I hate the looks. And then we go over to Dorit, and I can't help but love her. She's crazy. It's a crazy look. I could never do this, but I think she looks gorgeous. She's 40 minutes late. Kyle's getting pissy. They flash back to her complaining about how long Dorit took with Glam before. So anyway, we see a fake smile here from Kyle. I'm sure it's all going to hell soon. They go to this fabulous looking restaurant in Italy. Erika brings up the whole Aaron thing and how Denise apologized on his behalf. Denise says he doesn't have any negative intentions toward any of you. And then he'll be apologizing. And to camera, she said, after what these women did to me in Rome, they won't get their apology. Kyle's just asking, how do we move beyond this? And to camera, again, this is why I freaking love Garcelle. She says, I wish Denise would be like, this is how I feel. This is what I said. And stand up for herself so we can all move past this. And I agree with Garcelle. I believe Denise. I don't know. Maybe something happened. Maybe it didn't. Who cares? I just wish Denise would stand up for herself a little bit more instead of getting mad and walking away. That doesn't really help things. So I think if she's just direct and, confrontational and stuff, that it might go better for her. So it's interesting because Sutton talks about being in the girls' room last night. And then it's revealed that Sutton said that she had heard that they had hooked up. And Rinna, again, stirring the pot here. She's so obnoxious. Said, did you tell Denise what you told us last night? And Sutton said, absolutely, I did. Denise reveals that she had spoken to Brandy the night before Kyle's party and that Brandy was in on everything. I mean, kind of knew everything going on in the group. Well, of course she does. Because Kyle won't shut the F up. Told Kim and Kim told Brandy. I'm sure they're all having parties over it and thinking about how they can stir up drama. Teddi the camera said the night before she said she's never talked to Brandy. This is one of the more interesting parts of the episode, and I'm sure it'll come up at the reunion. Rinna is talking about the stupid shit she puts on Instagram, like dancing in her underwear, which is really dumb. Garcelle to camera says, the dancing nearly naked is not a choice for me if I had a daughter that had body issues. Woo! You go, Garcelle. That's amazing. That's how I feel, too. I think Rinna's just only out for Rinna. She just doesn't give a crap who she hurts or what's up. She's just out for Rinna and that paycheck and that spotlight. So Denise is implying that Brandy has shared stuff with her and that other people in the group have shared stuff with Brandy. Erika's saying if you know something, especially after what was said about you last night, you need to tell it. Denise says, nope. No, there's a line. Brandy has said she's had sex with every woman that she's come in contact with, including people from this group. Kyle says, so she's saying she had sex with someone at this table? To camera, she says, if that's true, why didn't she say that last night? Rinna is denying it, saying, I've never had sex with a woman. Rinna to camera says, if you're trying to deflect, you're doing a bad job. And that's how the episode ends. So we see it to be continued. We're going to see some sightseeing. It is funny that we see Denise smiling really big here. So I assume they didn't make up, but I'm curious to see how they get to this point. We see some Vespa action. It looks like it's going to be Rinna versus Denise. Then it's Denise versus Teddi. And Denise says she's done, and she walks out. And that's frustrating because I want her to take Teddi down. But, so that'll be next week. I'm excited to see what happens. Very curious about you guys' thoughts. What are your thoughts? What do you think? Do you like the episode? Just let me know in the comments below. So that's it. I'm covering Real Housewives of New York. I'm covering Below Deck Med, Potomac. Potomac is so good, you guys. If you're not watching it, get on it. It's so good. And yeah, so follow me on Twitter. I'm at Real Recaps. And leave me comments. I love talking to you guys. It's so much fun. And I appreciate you watching. Have a great night. Bye-bye.